What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down what moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So SoFi did go up 3.82%, 1643 the low, 1711 the high. So SoFi definitely was leading the pack in the finance sector, which largely was red today. But I think today there wasn't all that much in data points coming out, so it was more so linked to its own technicals. And SoFi definitely was fighting ever since Thursday and Friday last week to really break out. So I think a lot of that is carrying forward into this week. But as of today, with the market being closed, you have 53.5 million shares being traded. 43.1 is the average. A ton of transactions on both the secondary market and also the dark pool. So these are all the ones on the secondary market. A couple big ones, 1.9, 1.7, 21 million. And then even on the dark pool, a lot of transactions. Dark pool is often enough linked to shorts and other large transactions. So a couple big ones here. So 4.6 million. And then 4.75, that was done at 1 o'clock. So a lot of big transactions regardless. But aside from all of that fun stuff though, there was no official news from SoFi, nothing like that. A couple SEC forms. So there was two 144s that just came out after hours. Did kind of point that 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗖𝗧𝗛, whatever his name is, an officer, did sell 31,000 shares, as you can kind of see right here. It is for tax purposes, so nothing really crazy or something to worry about. A lot of these transactions were in a blackout period, so they had to wait until after their earnings was submitted and released in order for these for them to sell. So that's why it kind of came in as one. But you also did have right here, so Pinto, who is an officer, did sell 15,000 shares. Similarly, it was for tax purposes. So nothing really crazy if you ask me. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. Aside from that, shorts did increase 29,000 shares. So not all that much, definitely breaking from the overall trend that they've been kind of doing. So they have been slowly increasing from the low of 11.67% on February 11th. So again, they're not really doing all that much. 11.79% of the free float's being shorted though. And you see cost to borrow minimum is negative, so negative 0.07%. So meaning, once again, a broker's out there physically paying people to short SoFi. So it'd be interesting to see when that will stop. I cover a lot of different stocks through many different YouTube channels. Sometimes you see this maybe like once every 6 months, occasionally on a heavily shorted stock, but I feel like it happens all the time with SoFi. So hopefully something does come from that. I know I've stated this in the past, but it'd be really kick-ass to see Anthony Noto do the same thing as Palantir's CEO and just say F the shorts. I feel like that would be huge. But aside from that, looking at options, 38 million in calls, 8.81 in puts. 46% of all the options being done today were optimistic in nature, somewhat in line with the last couple trading days for the total premiums. So today 46.6, yesterday 47.9. Of the call options that were purchased today, you see a consensus for it to be above roughly around that 18 to 1850, and then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub 15. So definitely a lot more upside is anticipated, so it's good to see that level of optimism. Again, I think a lot of that is stemming from the actual technicals, but with it closing at 1683, it is trading between this R2 and this R1, so 1645, which it kind of bounced off of today for the low, but that is going to be a strong support, and we know with it bouncing off of that today, that's a strong support. Flip side, 1692 and then 1669 or 1769, sorry, those are going to be the next strong target / resistance points. No new analyst ratings, nothing like that, but like I said, today was more of a technical driven day, and because of Friday, it did break past that 50-day moving average. So historically speaking, that usually results in like a 30% swing. And one thing that really helped SoFi kind of lead the pack for the whole finance sector was the fact that also you have algorithmic trading really working on your side, because it did break past that super trend. So as you can kind of see, that green line right here, that is pointing for it to be, it is bullish. So again, you have the algos really buying up SoFi, pushing it higher. So technicals are looking like you're going to see all-time highs. As I mentioned on the weekend, I think this is where you'll probably see a new 52-week high for SoFi. But let me know your viewpoint on that. As of late, though, you do see the stochastic RSI at 80. So if it does continue on the status quo, and if it does continue to move higher tomorrow, then you could see it rather overbought. And what that ultimately means is if SoFi does have some negative kind of data point come out, or just on a larger macro standpoint, then you could see some volatility in the downside. Tomorrow, you have a couple data points. So you have building permits, starts, and also in the afternoon, FOMC minutes. And in my opinion, I think the minutes won't be all that crazy, won't be any negative downside. The last couple have been more reconfirmed by the broader market and actually moves it higher. And then you have the permits. Forecast right now is 1.47 million, starts 1.35. And so last time this data did come out, like the actuals were far above the forecast. So it kind of hurt the likelihood of a future cut because it was phenomenal data, but it once again is another good data point showing that the economy is doing very, very good. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Did you buy? Did you sell? What have you been doing with SoFi? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.